PRC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
Hey, this is James Spann. This is our Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday, the 3rd of March. And this is going to be a beautiful day today. We're talking readings around 80 this afternoon, but the chance of severe weather hangs over our head for late tonight and tomorrow morning. Now, let's go to some Skycam shots early this morning. And we'll begin with a look at the view from Birmingham. Let's see a shot coming at the top of the Daniel Building, looking north. Temperatures this morning are mostly in the 50s. Dew points are in the 40s. The big question, can those dew points get up into the 60s after midnight tonight? Down below, there's the lights of the city of Gadsden coming from our Skycam up in Etowah County and from Shelby County. That's a look at U.S. Highway 280 about 5 o'clock in the morning. Wouldn't it be nice if traffic always looked like that on that highway? Well, there's our big storm developing off to the west, a major trough that will be kind of rolling through here as a big bowling ball upper low tomorrow. And you can see big convection firing in advance of that from North Texas up into Missouri. We have a moderate risk of severe weather today for a large part of Mississippi, pretty good chunk of Louisiana and southeastern Arkansas, and that creeps into West Alabama by a few miles. And otherwise, all of Alabama is in a slight risk of severe weather late tonight. That's primarily after midnight. It includes much of Tennessee and Arkansas back into eastern Texas. And here's a look at the probabilities, first off, for tornadoes. And that is the probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a certain point. And you can see the highest probabilities are over central and southwestern Mississippi at 15%, with a 10% probability of a tornado well into Alabama. And understand, a tornado is a tiny, tiny event, and those are pretty high numbers. And in terms of the chance of damaging wind, the numbers ramp up, of course, with a 45% probability within that moderate risk area. That means it's almost a 50-50 chance you'll see winds of 58 miles per hour or greater. That's a big number, and the numbers are 30% deep into Alabama. And then tomorrow, the risk is off to the east. And again, this is after 6 o'clock in the morning, primarily over the eastern third of Alabama, then back off to the Atlantic coast. This morning, there's a look at the ongoing severe weather threat that's over Texas. That's a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. That includes places like Waco and Greenville, Texas. And pretty quiet out there. There are a few severe thunderstorm warnings, but quiet at the moment. There's a look at where we are with dew points this morning, and really we'll be watching those dew points to see if they can get up there today. We've got dew points in the 40s right now. The dew points are in the 60s up into west and south Louisiana. And can the air mass make the transformation? Pretty good chance it can, considering the dynamics at play here. And quickly, the QPF map, the numbers have actually come down. This is suggesting rainfall totals of only 3/4 to 1 inch here, with the better totals up on the north side of that developing surface low from the Red River up into the northeast United States. So a lot of things to watch here. Let's get right to modeling. This is where we are today at noon. 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. The model we're using here is the 06C GFS, and we'll just go to tomorrow at that level and show you how the thing blows through here in negative tilt fashion. Now, late last week, we actually had the cold core sitting right over us, and now this is more of a trough that's rotating negative tilt, so that will decrease the snow threat tomorrow in the cold air, but certainly increase the chance of severe weather late tonight, after midnight and early tomorrow morning. Let's get down to the surface using the same model. This is where we are at noon today. The surface low is near Shreveport. And again, today will be kind of windy and warm. West Alabama might touch 80 today. Highs in the mid to upper 70s elsewhere. Tonight at midnight, that surface low is near Tupelo, Mississippi, with all of the active weather still a bit to the west, but it's beginning to creep in here. And then 6 o'clock in the morning, the surface low is near Nashville. And the GFS, as do most models, really suggest the primary window of severe weather will be from midnight tonight until about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Very similar to the event we had last week in terms of the timing, but the meteorology is not the same. And then we go to noon tomorrow. The surface low keeps moving north, and the band of showers and storms shifting over into Georgia. Now, let's look at the instability coming off the GFS. I'm sorry, this is off the NAM model. This is at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. A little narrow tongue of instability comes up through Alabama. And that, with this event, like recent events, would seem to be the limiting factor. But as we've all know and learned, extreme dynamics can't offset the limited instability. But that's suggesting some surface-based capes from 250 to 500. The shear is pretty much off the chart. This is the 0 to 3 kilometer helicity, and that is extremely high for the northern half of the state. That's over 250, and the numbers get really extreme up north, so there's no doubt that'll be an issue. Now, let's go to the WRF model. This is a high-resolution regional model, and this is valid for 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. This has the surface low approaching Nashville. And again, that'll have us in the warm sector with the storms coming on through the I-65 corridor at that point. And I just wanted to show you mainly this model for that. Those are the surface dew points, and it's got the 60-degree dew points, a little tongue running up into Tennessee there. So there does seem to be a little narrow window of instability that would interact with the dynamics for a pretty decent rough weather ride tomorrow morning. So again, it's one of these darn overnight things, it's... they're difficult in that you can't, it's dark out there. It's not going to be a classic supercell thing. We'll have a line with maybe some embedded tornadoes. We'll just have to stay up all night and watch this stuff. And then Wednesday, all this stuff's out of here. That's Wednesday at noon. Now, Thursday, don't forget, we got this second thing coming in here. Let's watch what happens with the GFS. This is Thursday at noon. We stay dry. We go to Thursday night at midnight. A storm develops, a surface low down there in the Gulf of Mexico south of Destin. And cold air begins to plunge in here. And we'll go to 6 o'clock Friday morning, and the surface low moves over to Tallahassee and Jacksonville, and the critical thickness values drop down into northwest Alabama. So we're going to mention a chance of showers Thursday night. Maybe a little snow Friday morning as the thing lifts out. And for now, we'll just say maybe a little. And then look at midday Friday in the upper air. Boy, a huge trough develops over the east at the surface. It starts getting cold and windy as the storm departs and lifts out to the northeast. And then Saturday, that's just cold. We might have a hard time getting out of the low 40s Saturday, if that's right, with temperatures below freezing Saturday and Sunday morning. And then there's a look at Sunday. We warm up nicely. One good thing about the fact that it's March, the big cold snaps don't last long. And then Monday of next week, a little band of showers shows in here, but again, there's so much happening between now and then, we won't focus too much on that. And the same thing for this. This is the 17th of March, just to show you what's out there. One event, a trough rotating through here. That looks kind of wet and stormy, but again, a lot of water goes under the bridge before we get there. That's it for the Weather Extreme video this morning. Notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so this afternoon. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.